of St. Gerard 2016. The feast goes back to Italy before it began here in what was once the 5th largest Little Italy in Newark. St. Gerard was not a priest, he was a religious brother. And throughout his life, he went among the people helping them.
He performed so many miracles, and I just got the faith in him, and if I ever needed a miracle, I would go to him.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I've been pushing this for over 30 years. The band, the music, it's just...
Yeah, right?
We wait every year for this, and the weather is beautiful, no matter what.
No matter what, yeah.
It could rain, but when it's time for the saint to come out, the sun shines.
Yeah, I believe it.
Every year.
Sausage that have been here since I can remember as a kid at the St. Gerard Feast. Tammy, you've been here, your family's been here for how long?
55 years.
55 years. The best sausage sandwich, period, at the St. Gerard Feast. But what does it mean for you, or what are some stories you hear from, I guess, your grandparents?
Yeah, so my grandfather was the first stand on the first street, and it means a lot because everybody comes, we got the best sausages, the best service, 55 years going. Everybody's always happy.
What do you love about the feast most?
Tradition, family, just, it's heartwarming.
Yeah.
It brings back memories.
I know. It was your grandfather at the first stand, huh?
First stand, first street.
So I guess another 55 years we're going to have to be eating these sausage sandwiches, right?
Yep, get stuck with us.
So we just got some Zeppels from Tony's, and we're about to try them out. They look real good.
There are so many different customs and traditions that grew up since the beginning of this feast. People would walk barefooted and make a vow to St. Gerard and ask him for a special favor. Women would pray for their children, and if they received a special favor from St. Gerard, their children would carry a candle equal to the weight of the child whom they asked a special favor for. Also, as they walked in the procession, people would lower down baskets of flowers with money on it that was pinned on the statue. Now, before we had this cart, they would carry the saint on their shoulders. When the priest came from Italy, in particular Father Badilla, who was the rector of the shrine at the time, at the insistence of Getta Spatola, whose family had several generations involved in the feast back to the beginning in 1899, came here and saw what was going on in the city of Newark in this little Italy, and they went back to Italy and they decided that this church would be designated, and so they went to see the Archbishop of Newark at the time, Archbishop Peter Leo Gerardi, who just died about a month ago at the age of 104. And Archbishop Gerardi then took what they, on their word, went to the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops, and this was unanimously declared a national shrine in 1977. The key is that we have to take the treasure that that young man said that he had, the tiny shred left of St. Gerard's handkerchief. And he said, my grandmother's heritage, my grandmother's treasure has become my heritage. And it was placed in his hands. Well, this beautiful feast was placed in our hands by our grandmothers and has become our treasure, our tradition, and our living legacy.
St. Lucy's is the most beautiful church in the Archdiocese. It's built by Italian immigrants. When they came to the United States, they kept their traditions and they brought this statue here from Italy. And this feast has been going strong for 117 years. And as you will see today, it continues to strengthen, the devotion strengthens. St. Gerard is most known as the Mother Saint. Many women who can't conceive or have children pray to St. Gerard and then have children. Also, women that have difficulty with childbirth and pregnancy, they pray to St. Gerard, and there's a miracle of his handkerchief which helps women have a healthy baby and healthy life. There's many stories about St. Gerard. As you can see, there's a family event. There's many families, multi-generations that come here today, young and old.
It started my grandmother, you know, and she started to come here and the tradition just carried on. I mean, to come here and see all the miracles that happen every year. You see more and more people come here and tell us their stories about how they couldn't have a baby and now they have triplets. You know, it's one after another. Hearing people from Australia to India to California and everybody around here, it's unbelievable, and it's something that, you know, drives me to continue this to go, you know, with you and get this thing going.
Yeah,
so, you know,
absolutely,
keep it going.
absolutely.
I don't think there was another person more devoted than my mother to this saint, and you know, she's been sick for a while, and 3 months ago she told me, I don't care what state I am in, get me to the feast. And unfortunately, she passed away yesterday in the middle of it, and she's here.
But she's here.
Now she's here.
She's here with all of us, and I know that's why it's so important to us to continue to carry it. And we'll all stay together, and you know, St. Gerard is looking after her, and this is something that I think is so special, you know, and I think it's beautiful that we have the feast to continue to carry in her spirit and her honor today.
Yesterday, when everything happened, that, you know, I was wondering whether I should be with family, and then I realized that I'm here with an extended family. You know, that's the best part about this place, is that when you're here with family. Even if you're not actually family, you are family.
All of us congregate down here every year as part of the tradition. This was something that we did as tiny kids growing up, and I think we feel the need to come down here every year to keep up the tradition and to show it now to the next generation and to keep the memories alive and all the goodness that comes with being part of St. Lucy's and the National Shrine of St. Gerard.
My grandmother up above, she's smiling.
Yes.
She knows we're here and she knows we're all present.
She does. She's looking down on us and she's very happy
like,
that we're all together.
We're all together.
Yes.
lived in this house most of my life. The procession used to pass right by. So as a kid, I remember the bass drum making my stomach shake. So I knew we knew it was the feast then. And then when I went to St. Lucy's, that year it started raining during the feast. Everybody's looking at me as if I brought the bad luck.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, but after that, I got right into the swing of things.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. To see the devotion of the people and how they're either praying for a favor or giving thanks for a favor, that's the reason they were there. You'd be surprised how many girls would come who couldn't conceive. And we would bless them and bless them with the relic. And you'd be surprised. I don't say it's 100%, but a very high percentage will come back later on to give thanks with their baby.
Right.
So as I saw that, I mean, it had to affect you in some way or other. To see the power of intercession on the part of St. Gerard. I've had girls come to me that if they were married, they were told to adopt and to give up all hope. And we'd give them a blessing and the handkerchief, and invariably they'd come back with their baby. The people see the results of their prayers. They're not coming here for a sausage sandwich or to walk in procession. They're either praying hard for something or they're giving thanks. And they're devoted. So this is their way of showing of their faith in a public way.
But how do you remember it when you were younger compared to today?
It's the same. It's the same. The spirit is the same. And the good sign is that you see young people. When I first got to St. Lucy's in 1955, you had a feast almost every month. St. Anthony, Our Lady of Snow, Lady Mount Carmel, St. Rocco, St. Michael. And as the old timers in the society passed on, that was the end of the feast. But with St. Gerard, it just keeps growing because the youth keep coming.
Yeah. No, we believe it's so deep in our hearts, in our prayers.
That's what brings you out.
What's beautiful about it is that I feel it never ends. Like every day that I push forward in my life, I feel St. Gerard is with me.
Well, if you have a special devotion to him, that's the feeling.
It's one of the most greatest things. And then when everybody comes together, you know, and it's just...
No, it has its own dynamic life.
Yeah, it really does.
I always used to say, we announce the dates of the feast, we open the doors and get out of the way. The devotion of the people, the courage of the people. After the riots, there were threats made against the processions, and everybody was there. And we walked through, at that time, Sheffield Drive. Soil pampers were coming out the windows, wood, rocks. The people kept walking right in procession. So I always admire what I call their fierce loyalty. And in the procession after the riots, when there were quiet threats being made, I'd be walking along the procession, and you know, sometimes the street is uneven, so it throws you off balance. If I bumped into a man, I'd feel something hard in his inside pocket. You'd have to come and really experience it, because it took me my first feast to get used to it. because usually you don't see people putting money on a statue. And then you begin to realize why they're doing it. Thanking or asking for a favor. And in order to understand it, you have to take part in it. So everybody's invited.
To our family because we were born into it. Our parents grew up in Newark, our grandparents were from Newark, so this was their church, and we've continued the family tradition. And this year, like Gerard said, it's extra special because I'm expecting a little girl.
Yes! So special!
So it means a little bit extra this year to be able to be a part of this whole celebration.
Nice and slow going up. Nice and slow going up. On 3, hit the center. 1, 2, 3. Viva Santa!